Okay, so obviously the school's closing, which is really sad. But the big question, I guess, is where are the students going to go?
Okay. Well, so in looking at data, enrollment data here at Dupre, over the last 10 years, we have seen the numbers decline each and every year. Until this year, we're actually less than 200 students. They're at 195 right now. And so looking big picture wise at other schools that are in the same feeder pattern that are close to Dupre, Brown Elementary has the capacity to hold the students from Dupre, and so this area will be zoned to Brown Elementary. That being said, we are also offering an option for families to transfer to Carmona Harrison, which is our brand new elementary school, which is in the Lubbock High feeder pattern. So we're going to ask families to think long term about the pathway they would like their child to go. If they're interested in going through the Monterey feeder pattern, they'll automatically be zoned to Brown. But if they're interested in the Lubbock High feeder pattern, then they may choose to transfer to Carmona Harrison, which feeds into Cavazos and then Lubbock High.
Okay. So let's see. So yeah, tell me a little bit more. I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but why is the school closing? What's going on here?
Well, when you have 200 students or less, there of course is an efficiency issue, and that it's just more expensive to operate a campus that is so tiny. But what we feel like is more important is that when you have a little bit larger school, you have more teachers per grade level where those teachers can really collaborate and plan together. You have more teachers to take on the extra duties that are required with the teaching job, and so you don't burn out the ones who are there doing everything. It gives you more opportunities to have more full-time wraparound services for kids. So right now at Dupre, they have a half-time counselor, a half-time assistant principal, a half-time librarian. They have part-time fine arts teachers. If they are at a slightly larger campus, then we can have full-time people in all of those roles that are so important. So if a child needs to see the counselor, they don't have to wait until 2 days later when that counselor happens to be assigned to that campus. That person will be there right then when that child needs them. And so there's just some academic and social, emotional benefits to being able to be on a little bit larger campus where you have more of those services.
So you talked about sort of a decline of students over a 10-year period or so. Why do you think that decline is happening?
It's really hard to know. Part of it is just the migration of the community to other areas of the community. We have some schools that have remained steady in enrollment, some that have actually grown, but this is just one that over the years has declined. It's really at the heart of Lubbock, so it's important that we have strong programming for the children in this area, but as this school declines, we need to make sure that we can put them in a place where they'll continue to thrive with some strong programs.
So I believe, the school's supposed to close at the end of the school year.
Yes.
Is there an official date set for that yet?
It'll be the last day of school. Transfer window opens Christmas holiday and goes until the end of January, and so if children want to go on to Brown, they don't have to do anything. That'll automatically just happen. But if they want to take advantage of other opportunities in the district, then they'll need to transfer during that window.
Okay. Let's see. So when was the last time a school in LISD was closed like this one?
Well, we actually, just this last school year, Guadalupe, Jackson, and Wright were also schools that had right around 200 students in each. And we built a brand new school to house those 3 schools. And so this is something that over time the district has been working toward to try to be able to, number one, be efficient. One of our goals is to be responsible stewards of the resources the public gives us. And so it's more efficient to run a little bit larger campus, but to the academic programming that I've talked about that you can provide on a larger campus.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously you just told the parents what was going on. What were some of their reactions?
They had great questions. They wanted to know if some of the same supports that they do have here at Dupre, particularly around community partners, if that would still be available at Brown, and of course it will be. They had great questions about, just teachers, about transportation, and we will provide a bus route. So that parents will not have to worry about getting their kids to another campus. So, just really good questions.
Well, how do you think that closing the school, affects the general neighborhood?
We will still use this facility for an educational purpose, and we're still working out exactly what that will be. But this is a historical building, and it's a beautiful building, and it has great value in our community. So we will keep this building alive and thriving, and it will be used for a good purpose. It just won't be an elementary school.
Well, that's good to hear. So the other schools, Brown and Carmona, Harrison, you think they're prepared to take on these other students and I guess the teachers as well?
Absolutely. And a lot of the teachers from here will actually go to Brown and some possibly to Carmona Harrison, depending on how many students choose to transfer. But a lot of the staff, all staff will continue to have a place in Lubbock ISD. And many of them we hope will choose to go to Brown or Carmona Harrison so that the students will have some faces that they recognize. And absolutely, the principal at Brown has been going through a new school design fellowship this year. So she's been working on academic programming and is very excited to have more students in her school. And then the same is true with Carmona Harrison. That principal went through that process last year. And we built that school hoping they would come. So there is actually room there for more students, and we want to fill that school.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about having to close Dupre?
Well, I mean, it's always sad when you're closing a chapter. I was the principal at Murphy for 10 years, and so I can remember just how sad I was, unbelievably sad when I first heard that that was what we were going to do with Murphy. But I also know the value of what this will do for students, and I believe as a district this is a good decision to move us forward, both from an economic standpoint, but more importantly from a student programming standpoint. So I'm excited about the future. I think it's normal to feel sad, and I think we need to give people space to feel that sadness. People have given a lot of time and energy around this school, and so we need to give them that space to mourn a little bit, but we also need to be really excited about the future. This school, I know the professionals in this building, and they're going to finish this year strong, and we'll celebrate at the end of this year the great history that Dupre has in this community, but we'll also be excited about looking forward.
Well, was there anything else you want to add?